The main event for WrestleMania 2018. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Give me a break.
Didn't you? I mean,
No, I thought SummerSlam.
Yeah. I actually thought SummerSlam too.
I did not think that they were going to try to hold it off another year. Because here's the thing. If you hold it off another year, that means they're really going to try to build up for another WrestleMania coronation with Roman Reigns as a babyface.
Yep.
Like, come on.
Yep. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, that's what they're going to try to do. They tried 2 years ago. At one point, that was the plan for this year. Things changed, so now it's the plan for next year. I think it's going to be the plan for every year. Every year it's going to be, this is the year we get Roman Reigns over as top babyface.
Like, what does it take to figure out that this ain't working?
Well, one of the things is it's going to take a new, young babyface who they think is better to come along. I mean, that's really what it's going to take. Because anything else, it's not going to be there because they're looking for... John Cena's on his way out. And even if he wasn't, John turns 40 next year. So they really do... I mean, even if he was staying full-time, they really do have to look for a successor. Sometimes Vince pulls the plug a little early.
That's 1,000% true. But it's been years, and it's not getting better.
So who do you pick?
I don't know, but let me tell you this.
Well, then there's your answer.
Well, no, I have an answer. This could be an answer. Okay. Listen to me here. So I know everyone loves when I talk about these old shows, but I'm watching 1998 Raw, and The Rock is out there with the Nation of Domination, and he's so hated. He's so hated as a heel. Wasn't getting over as a babyface. They turned the guy.
Oh, yeah.
Could we not try to turn Roman Reigns heel?
Hey, we don't know that you're not. I don't know that that's not the plan right now.
Well, after 2.5 years, I'm pretty skeptical, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, the whole Undertaker thing, I mean, they all know that no matter what they do, Roman Reigns is getting booed out of the building against Undertaker. So when it happens and people go, oh, my God, they're so stupid they didn't know. If they know because they booked the match with full knowledge of that. Now, does that mean that they're going to turn Roman Reigns heel? I don't know the answer. I only know the destination and the plan, for the long term. How they get there in the short term, I don't know that they know, and I haven't asked. I mean, I just know the destinations. Like I said,
all I know is the only thing they have left is a heel turn. They've got to try.
I agree. They should have done it a ways ago. But the problem is every time you say that, they need a babyface to carry the brand. They may have done it if Finn Balor hadn't gotten hurt. I mean, it was very clear Finn Balor beat Roman Reigns. Finn Balor was going to be the top guy, but then he got hurt right away. So, I think that, and I don't know that they were going to turn Roman Reigns, but I saw the idea that they were going to build to a Finn Balor Roman Reigns program with Finn Balor being cheered in the program. That was very clear that they were going to at least do that. So, it's the key is they still need a baby face to carry the brand. And of course they could switch people. They could bring AJ Styles over as a baby face because the people want to cheer him anyway. And they could use AJ Styles on that brand. But then if you got AJ and Roman Reigns on the same brand, then what do you do on the other brand? Because you want to keep things, I don't want to say balanced because SmackDown nenever really got
Let's send Nakamura there, for example, we can talk about here in a second.
Yeah, Nakamura. Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. And I mean, hey, look, maybe Nakamura's the guy. I mean, Nakamura's got all the charisma in the world. I don't know what they think of him in that role. We'll find out real quick, and we'll see how he gets over real quick. But maybe he's the guy. The problem with Nakamura, unfortunately, is that he's close to 40 and he can't do 20-minute promos. And I'm more worried about about the age than the promos and he's beat up. So, I mean, the whole thing is that, he may be a great attraction, but if you're talking about the replacement for John Cena, Nakamura really isn't the guy. He's just not.
One other thing I wanted to mention is when we're talking about Roman Reigns and a heel turn, part of me thinks that they should just turn Roman Reigns heel so their hands are tied and they're forced to just create a new babyface.
Well, they're not going to do that until they come up with a guy. And, and there may be, maybe they'll go with Finn Balor. I don't really know. They won't go with Sami Zayn. They will go with Randy Orton. They'll go with Randy Orton, but you need two of them. They could go with AJ Styles on one brand and Randy Orton on the other. With John Cena can. Who knows exactly what they would do with John Cena, and he'll probably be a lot more limited in the next year anyway, because he's getting more and more acting gigs. But I mean, yeah, they could do it, and they should do it without a doubt. They should do it. They should have done it. Realistically, they should have done it 2 years ago, but because then they'd be past the situation, and we'll see. I mean, there's no lock that by turning him heel, he'll get over better as a babyface down the line, but I would try it because. The course that they have been going on the last 2 years has been difficult. But, here's the thing. In their minds, at least what they say outwardly, it has not been a failure because their belief is that it's still the minority that boo him and that his merchandise does very well. I mean, and it does. It does well. It doesn't do Cena level well, but no one else does either. And his does as well as anyone else. And the other thing is that, at the house shows, it's a mix. It isn't Cena when Cena was really hot. Because when Cena was really hot, he was getting cheered, by 90% at the house shows or more. And, then he would get booed on TV most of the time and booed at pay-per-views almost all the time. With Roman Reigns, he gets booed on TVs virtually all the time, pay-per-views all the time. And, at house shows, it's a mixed reaction. It depends on the market. Some places, it can be 30% for him. Some places it can be 85% for him. But, again, a lot, maybe even too much is made out of that because at the end of the day, this business is about getting people to buy tickets, and ticket sales are fine on his shows. I mean, he's not a big draw, but they're fine. It's not like people don't go to see shows when he's on top as the top babyface. It's not like he adds either, but no one else does either. So at the end of the day, I mean, sometimes I think way too much is made of that. I mean, I watched, at certain points, Tanahashi get booed as a top babyface in Japan and Okada get booed as a top babyface in Japan, and their business grew. So does it really matter at the end of the line? And I mean, that's the whole thing that from their perspective, that's what they look at. I mean, ratings suck, but they have their excuses, and some valid, some not. But they're more and more, kind of like when it comes to ratings, it's like, well, we don't consider ratings strongly because they're going down, and they'll do the whole YouTube thing and all that. And there's, there may be something to that, and there may not. Who knows? And social media is up, which is, it's a fluke. It's a fraud statistic and everything. But still, if that's what they're going to look at, and they're trying to, I mean, they did, in their whole, thing of performance bonuses and everything like that, the mentality is if we grow social media, if the social media grows, everything else will follow. Now, you and I both know that's perhaps bullshit, but if that's their mentality and it's growing, then they're going to feel that it's working, and you can see the company when they get defensive on everything. It's like, well, revenue's up, and it is. So how could we be doing stuff wrong? So, part of it is just like, hey, it's working, so don't worry about it. And if people boo him, so what? I mean, you hear John Layfield the other night. Well, and this is now, granted, this is complete bullshit, but John Layfield's thing is that what happened. If you have to have an underdog. And I mean, his whole thing with Daniel Bryan was an underdog, and he was getting cheered like crazy because he was an underdog, and we planned it that way, and blah, 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 and it paid off at WrestleMania. But after WrestleMania, when he was champion, well, now he's champion, and he's got the hot wife, and so the people weren't going to be with him anymore. And it's like, I don't know that that's the case, and we'll never know if that's the case, because the reality is he got hurt first. But John Layfield very often is the voice of the voice of the company, and so their mentality is well, the only reason Daniel Bryan didn't get booed was because he got hurt first, but he was about to get booed because he was no longer an underdog, and he was going to be the establishment company champion, and the people would then boo him. I don't know that that's true. I actually think it's not true, but I'm just telling you how they think, because you can see how they think.